Good morning. Next news. NBC's Kristen Welker presses Speaker Johnson on refusal to swear in Congresswoman who is likely Epstein files swing vote. Mediate. Johnson bristled when asked why he's not swearing in a newly elected Congresswoman thought to be the swing vote on a House measure to release the Epstein files. Below are your comments. Declining to swear in a duly elected member of Congress is troubling. Even if the House is not in session or voting, there are still things she could be doing for her constituents. While the government is shut down, essential employees have to work without pay. The House members still get paid. That does not seem right to me. If they are getting paid, the Republicans should be working through the shutdown. If they are refusing to work, their pay should be stopped. I bet they would work then. This is why Trump shut down the government and why it will be shut down for a very long time. His opposition now has the votes to force the release of the Epstein files once the government opens back up and the new member is sworn in. Trump is trying desperately not to let that happen by any means necessary. There is no good reason at all to not swear in a duly elected representative. By not doing so, he is denying her constituents their voice in government. Now tell us again about supporting the Constitution. Federal judge nominations and votes should never sit for more than a month or so to do serious background checks. Any elected official should not need to wait to do their job because of a swearing in. The majority of Republicans don't hold their oath as sacred anyhow, so why expect anyone to wait to start doing their job? At the least, they should be automatically be allowed to start doing their job after 15 days whether Congress is in session or not. So Johnson didn't answer the question as to why she hasn't been sworn in. I had hopes that he would have been better than the previous speaker. Not to be, I guess. It was a very reasonable question from Welker. I was a Republican 10 years ago. The minute Trump came down the elevator at Trump Tower, that changed my affiliation. I wasn't wrong. There must be a lot of politicians, supposedly honorable men in these files. Why don't Repubs want them released? Democrats aren't against releasing the evidence of the PRVS names. Guess transparency is only one-sided. The reason they needed a CR to begin with is because they didn't have an actual budget bill. It would be logical to stay in session and continue to negotiate that bill instead of just not being in session. Further proof it is all on Republicans for shutting down the government. The reason our system has always operated has been good faith. The idea that even political opponents will act in good faith and follow the rules. Republicans more and more are refusing to do that. It's a signal that the end of the American experiment is close. Welcome to Magistan. Gotta blame the GOP on this. They knew for months and months and months the budget was due but did nothing. They want the government to shut down so they can delay a new budget until after the elections where they will severely cut funding to Americans in needs. The clean bill Johnson got his Republican House to pass was totally a Republican-written bill that kept in place all the dirty stuff in the one beautiful bill passed earlier which involved no Democrats' input. So what Johnson and the Republicans are claiming is that the Democrats are responsible for shutting down the government for refusing to vote for a bill that they had no input into and which they believe will ruin the lives of millions. Johnson's claim is the red herring. I suspect the real truth is a lot more sinister. What if he never swears her in? How long can he put it off before it becomes obvious that they will simply refuse to accept anyone who isn't loyal to Trump? And then when the Supreme Court rules that he has the right to refuse to swear in a new member, America will be over. I think we're already living in Magistan, we just don't know it yet. Think about how things have gone the last 10 months. Are we the collective frog in the pot, not recognizing how hot the water has become because it's been somewhat gradual? I know it, he knows it, and everybody knows that the longer he avoids the Epstein vote, the longer ills of Pandora's box remain sealed and the political damage to the GOP lies covered. Justice delayed is justice denied. Under the Constitution, the government is only obligated to continue to pay members of Congress and the president during a Fed shutdown. Trump and his cronies in Congress are fully aware of that. Every voter in this country needs to remember that in the upcoming midterms. If the Senate or Congress can't pass a budget, those same people should not receive a paycheck. If they expect others to work without being paid, let them not get paid. This is all just protecting Trump. There could be 10 Democratic senators and Joe Biden on the list, but this is totally and completely about protecting Trump. Period. If Trump wasn't on the list, we would have seen it already. More tactics to delay the inevitable release of the Epstein files. The big question is, how busy are they rewriting and editing those files? Watergate pales compared to this, and everyone implicated needs to be tried and sentenced. The simple answer is that he does not have a legitimate reason for not swearing her in. It literally takes only a few minutes. He's playing the dirtiest kind of politics, refusing to allow the people who elected her to have the voices count on the national stage. Trump is calling on his subservient followers like Speaker Johnson to delay so people will forget the Epstein files. It's really amazing how little character is left in the Republican National Committee. What happened to real men and women that politics, power and money became more important? What if he never swears her in? Mitch McConnell refused to allow a vote on Merrick Garland's Supreme Court nomination, and there were no consequences, which is a lot of the reason we're stuck with Trump. Again. I suspect they believe we are already far enough along to the autocracy that they don't have to follow the law. What is anyone going to do? The new member sues, and eventually it gets to the Supreme Court, then what? They say scheduling the swearing in is the Speaker's prerogative, and he schedules it for the last why of the term she was elected to serve? Welcome to Magistan. It's exactly why he's not doing his job and having the House in session getting essential work done. Please remember that he quickly seated the Republican after their election but will not seat the Democratic woman who won by over %40. It's very obvious that he's so afraid of Trump that he can't do the job he was elected to do. Their clean bill hurts many of those who voted for Trump as they are from red states. The obvious is obviously what Johnson is hoping he can divert attention away from. His logic and reasoning has clearly been compromised by his attempts to appease Trump. Congress is about spin, PR, and doing the very least they can do. Making up their rules of order as they go. If Congress and the government is shut, why are senators and representatives being paid? That just might be motivation. So, Johnson claims that his refusal to swear in Grijalva has nothing to do with Epstein. Okay, so what is the reason for his refusal to swear her in? Because the norm is to swear in a new member of Congress as soon as possible. Indeed, I can't recall another time when this was done. So, when will he swear in the newly elected Grijalva? Why didn't Welker circle back to the question and get an answer? If this is about the Epstein files, there's only just so much time they can put it off. At some point they will have to rip the Band-Aid off. Another spike in the road of destroying democracy in America. She was voted in and deserves to take her seat and represent her constituents. He could have sworn her in days before the Republicans walked away. Total proof that it is not absurd that he doesn't want to swear her in because she is the swing vote. Well, Cancun Cruz did say to protect the PDF files at a public congressional hearing too. Any work done by the House while a congressional district lacks representation would be a violation of that entire district's constitutional and civil rights. They have an elected representative ready to be seated. Regardless of party, the Speaker needs to swear her in. It is an obligation he has as the Speaker. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.